They say just paint every day and you will get better in no time. But why is it so hard to get into the habit of painting every day? I can't be the only one with the problem of procrastination when it comes to making art. That's why I challenged myself and painted every day of the week, from Monday till Friday, to see if something happens to my mindset. And I've noticed something different each day and also came to a conclusion. I thought of a title to describe the painting process on each day, and Monday I call it the icebreaker. Starting the first painting on Monday was a struggle. I sat down and it took so long to decide what I wanted to paint. It felt like everything took way too long, even though I told myself I was going to paint something very easy for me. I was overwhelmed by the endless possibilities Pinterest gave me, and I constantly felt the pressure to draw something that would benefit my art business somehow. That really blocked me. So I sat there, I think like almost an hour, before I decided to paint this cherry blossoms with gouache paints. That's something I already painted with watercolor often. It ended up to be very relaxing and fun. I got lost in the details and painted for an hour. It took me so long to begin, but it was a good start for the week. What I learned from this day was, it's not easy to just start a painting, but if I feel stuck, I can always go back to something I know I can do very well. And to start small. A small paper size is less intimidating. When I finished the cherry blossoms, I felt motivated for the next day. My motivation didn't last when I wanted to paint on Tuesday. I guess changing your mindset needs more time. I still had the feeling of anxiety. Every motive I could think of seemed overwhelming, and I didn't have trust in my skills. I was annoyed by that, so it was a weird day. Also, I felt like I really should paint something for the shop, and there was something I had in mind for a longer time now. I wanted to paint a bookmark matching the cover of the book Fourth Wing, so I did that. If I'm completely honest, I have to say that it wasn't much fun, but at least I reached my goal to paint that day. What I learned was, if I force myself to paint something I want to sell, it's not fun. So, since yesterday wasn't quite the feeling I wanted, I decided to paint a very small painting and also what I really felt like. I painted some watercolor roses and I really enjoyed the process. My mind felt free and at the end I was proud of the result. It's been a long time since I painted that loosely and really what I felt like. What I learned was creativity comes to me whenever I feel relaxed. When I'm stressed, I just end up making art that's not authentic. On Thursday, I was ready to paint something that was a little more challenging. I had this in mind for a while now, and since the last days felt like a good practice, finally I trusted my skills enough to paint it. This is Totoro from the Ghibli movie My Neighbor Totoro, and this painting really took the whole day since I worked in many layers. I really love the painting. What I learned was the past 3 days were necessary to build up my confidence for this painting. So even if you think a small painting doesn't matter, it does. It sets you in the right mood for bigger projects, and it's still a great practice. It was also a lot easier to sit down and decide what to paint. It took me less than 10 minutes to decide what I wanted to paint. On Friday, I felt like I had painted enough for the week, because the Totoro painting took the whole day yesterday. I rushed a small watercolor painting and didn't even record it. I don't like it at all, and it wasn't even a good practice, so all in all, not a very successful day. I did 5 days of painting. And what kept me from procrastinating was to start small. I can't lie, the first 2 days it was hard to follow this advice. I thought I had to draw something meaningful. but once I overcame that thought, it worked. It was also very helpful to build up the habit of sitting at the desk at the same time each day and paint. In the last 3 days, it was much easier to begin. I noticed after this challenge that it's much easier for me to really sit down and draw, sketch or paint instead of endlessly searching for inspiration and collecting references. I think it's still very important to be gentle with yourself and not to pressure yourself into thinking you have to draw every day. Instead, think you could draw most days. After that Friday, I sketched again on Sunday, and it just had been small studies, but I think the experience was very helpful. I don't need to be afraid to make bad art. If it's bad, it's a good practice, and I can learn from it. Painting every day isn't really something I can do, because sometimes there's just not enough energy or motivation. But maybe I can paint or sketch almost every day. I'm taking this with me, and I hope I could inspire you to paint and practice a little bit more. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe. By the way, some of my original paintings from this video are currently available in my Etsy shop if you'd like to check them out. See you soon!